So they spoke about that during the game. What's the background of the turnover T-shirt?
No background. Just we spent a lot of time. I've told you guys this. We've spent a lot of time, going over ways we can be better at creating turnovers and be better at taking care of the football. Like, we know how important that stat is to winning and losing football games, and so anything we can do to promote it and to get better at it, we do. And this was an idea by the defensive staff to have turnover T-shirts, and who doesn't like getting gear and with their picture on it, creating a big time play in the game. And so, the only thing I was a little upset about is Slay only had one last week against Minnesota. He only got one T-shirt. I kind of got on the defensive staff a little bit that Slay should have got two. And then this week we created the one turnover last week, and I just got the shirts on my desk. I won't wear them until the players get them, and now I got three. So they heard me, and so there's like three T-shirts of everybody that was involved in that turnover.
Nick, how impressive is it that Jacksonville has +7 turnovers?
Yeah, they're taking care of the football, and they're creating turnovers. No surprise that that's what they emphasize too. It's easy to preach it sometimes, like, hey, turnover battle is important. It's hard to do, and the players have a hard job there. But we're relentless with it as far as the way we do it, and I'm imagining that because Jacksonville's +7, they're probably relentless with it as well.
Nick, do you expect AJ or Boston to be ready to play on Sunday?
AJ will be ready. Boston will probably be out. We'll let you know later today, but he'll probably be out. We're hoping for the following week to see what happens.
Trey Sermon picked up the offense.
I think really well. Yeah, I think really well. He's a smart guy, and Jamal is a really good coach. So they've spent a lot of time working together. One thing we're doing this year that's really helped is there's an additional period this year. So we always know we have the developmental period at the end. I've told you guys about that. Another attempt to develop young players and to develop guys that weren't here with training camp, stuff like that, kind of like we did with Gardner Minshew. We're doing a walkthrough, a developmental walkthrough before each walkthrough, to get those extra 8 reps there. And then we're also doing a 2s versus 1s, 1s versus 2s in practice where we're actually running our plays versus the defense and vice versa. So, those reps add up. And so, obviously, Trey's done a great job picking it up. Jamal's done a great job coaching it, and he's gotten a lot of reps of doing it.
Nick, BG was Defensive Player of the Week, but what significance was it for you to award the entire line with game balls you saw yesterday?
Yeah, anytime I say this to the offensive line, this has happened with the offensive line a couple times. When you look at those pictures in the indoor, when you look at the pictures in the indoor, you can see sometimes like there's groups of the offensive line where they get the player of the game, and I say, if every time we rush for over 200 yards, the entire offensive line is getting a game ball. Well, anytime you have a 9-sack game, the entire defensive line is getting a game ball because they created pressure, and so. But it was cool to see BG get that award for Defensive Player of the Week, and then it was cool to see Jalen get the Defensive Player of the Month. But that doesn't happen unless the team is clicking, and the guys know it's all about the team. And but it's great to get those individuals recognized.
Hey, Nick, what's the plan with the 53rd roster spot now that Covey's window is essentially up?
Yeah. We don't have to make that decision quite yet. You guys will see here soon.
Hey, Nick, if you get competitive over stuff like rock, paper, scissors, what do you like when going up against another head coach in an NFL game? And then I guess on top of that, coach who used to have your job.
Yeah. I get competitive with going against no matter what coach. I don't think about Doug in the sense that he used to have this job. He did a great job when he was here. Obviously brought this city a Super Bowl, which is unbelievable, and I know he'll be remembered forever for that. But anytime I'm going against any head coach, I'm going to get super competitive against them, and that doesn't matter if it's Doug, Frank, whoever. I'm gonna be competitive because I want to win, and I want to win big, and that's always my goal. And so it's not like, but I'm not lining up against him to do anything. But am I trying to win the things that I believe that are important for the head coaches against Doug? Yeah, I am.
Did you feel, when you took the job a few years ago, did you feel that pressure to, filling in for a guy who has a statue, a Super Bowl, and in a city with big expectations?
No, I just knew I had to come in here and do the best job I could do, right, and not worry about anything. There's been great head coaches. Doug's not the only great head coach here. Andy Reid, obviously, and I know there've been a ton of Buddy Ryan. All these. There's been so many good head coaches here, and so. I just got to do the best job I can do and put myself in position to do the best job I can do. I can't think about anything else. And so, anytime I've ever taken a new job, my goal is, whether it's going to be the receiver coach, whether it's going to be the offensive coordinator, whether it's going to be the quality control, it doesn't matter. I just try to do just do what I can do to be the best at the job that I am and not worry about anything else.
Last one, guys.
Have you seen the Doug statue?
Of course.
You walked up to
Yeah, of course.
He hasn't.
He hasn't seen it?
You haven't yet.
Yeah, of course I've seen that. Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's do our normal.